You want to start with Macy
I
Gray or R. Kelly?
okay. Which one is late? Let's go slow. Okay,
None of
gotta
them.
take it.
No. Listen, none
Et
of
puis tu
them.
m'appelles en plus.
Of
En plus
course.
tu m'appelles. Oh my god.
Of course, I'm gonna call you.
So
Cannot do
so
this
Macy,
without you. Yeah, go
so
ahead.
just kind of give me, because R. Kelly, I think we kind of have an idea of what's been going on with him, but Macy
Yeah.
Gray, I'm not quite sure why she's in the news right now.
Okay.
Did she say something? She probably did.
Oh yeah, she got canceled. She
What-
got canceled
why?
yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah.
So I saw it live, and I was like, and she said, "Oh, you're gonna hate me," and actually, I was like, "Oh, damn, wow." She said, "Let me remember clearly what she said."
Oh my
She
god.
said on Piers Morgan, she said, "I don't care if you hate me, but you can remove your genitals if you want. You will still not be a woman to me.
Yeah.
I can call you her if you want, but you
Yeah.
will still not be a real woman." That was her opinion, and now the whole the hive of people calling her a transphobic. Oh my God, this is horrible. This is violent. Oh, I'm feeling, etc., etc. They're all here, and she's getting canceled. And who ran at son secours, qui a volé à son secours, is J.K. Rowling's of Harry Potter fame, who is hated by all the transgender because she's a feminist. She decided to defend women, but like in my question here, I have a question for you. Okay, listen. The thing is this. And you will see my question for you. I'm not gonna ask you questions that can create problems for you tomorrow.
Please don't.
Because we are now
Do you see how quiet I am right?
But exactly. Listen, this is but this is exactly the problem for me. The problem for me is that nobody has the courage anymore to state an opinion because they're not scared of the people that they might hurt. They're scared for their careers. They're scared for their job. They're scared for everything because we have given so much power to minority groups that
Okay, sorry. Okay, before you continue, I kind of have a question just to kind of clarify that situation. So she was invited to that show with Piers, what's his last name?
Morgan.
He's the UK, he's a journalist, right?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. Sorry guys, by the way, this is totally live. I didn't know I was gonna come on.
But that's the thing. The good thing of you being here is that we can have a conversation like if I just called you on the phone and it's genuine.
Yeah.
We're not trying to prepare ourselves, and we're not trying to get this channel disappear.
Right. This is totally unrehearsed. Okay. I have no idea what's going on. So just for my brain. So she went on the show.
Yeah.
She was invited to the show.
Yeah.
So what was the question? What was the question that Piers asked for her to say that?
I have no idea, but Piers, when he talks to people, he asks about. So I'm gonna give you my opinion of what's going on right now in the world, and I guess what is happening right now is what I'm calling the pushback. I think we went too far in one direction because everybody wanted to be seen as welcoming and pro something. Everybody, and I think once you go too far in one extreme, you create a young in the other extreme. And I believe that what's going on right now is that a lot of people who were silent, and when people are silent because they're scared, because they see that if anybody has an opinion that is different from the opinion that has been decided for all of us, you see people getting canceled. You see people getting millions of people on Twitter raping your brain, like raping your self-esteem, and coming and like whatever you're gonna say about an artist, that you say something about Beyonce, like
you get attacked.
You get attacked by people who are doing death threats. Like, people completely lost the sense of conversation, of disagreement, and people get angry soon as you disagree with them. They disagree. And there's been a documentary that I think is making people talk a lot, by somebody called Matt Walsh, I think that's his name, I'm not sure. That is What is a Woman? And he goes to the circles of transgenders, pronouns, like he talks to doctors, he talks to people, he talks to politicians, and he asks in his documentary, he asks the question to everybody, what is a woman? And interestingly, whenever he asks the question in his documentary with those people, people either are turning around the answer and not never answering, or they get angry and they feel attacked because he asks this simple question, and they feel like, this is a question piège. When listen, I don't know about him that much. I understand he's a conservative. I'm not familiar with what he does, and me, I'm not American, so I don't care if you conservative, Democrat, whatever. I care about what you say on a particular subject, and I personally believe that we can agree on something and not agree on something else. And
right.
Like, if I meet, I don't know, in France, we have Zemmour, who's the far right in France. If one day I meet him and we talk about, I don't know, football, we might agree on Kylian Mbappé, and it doesn't mean that I agree with him on politics. And I might agree with him in politics on 2 things out of 10. But people just want to hate you or love you, and that's it. And in this whole where we are right now, which is we gave complete power and to women, to trans groups, to LGBT, to minorities, blacks, etc. Like, everybody and their mother. Some people for good reasons. Some people really with the belief that it's important, and other people, in America, it's the money that people care about. So a lot of corporation just became pro XYZ just because of trying to sell you a subscription.
It's profitable. Yeah,
exactly. There's a mix of a lot of things, and I believe that it's important that women had a voice through the Me Too movement. I believe that it was very important. I believe that it's important that the trans are protected and they have the rights to live and to exist. But I also believe that when you give too much power to people without checks and balance, like we have, all of us. Like, if I go tomorrow and walk naked in the street, I get arrested. and
Yeah.
those rules must apply to everybody. And I believe that uh, I wouldn't say that people are drunk on power, but some of them. And I believe that we are now seeing it. We are in a place now where maybe people are starting to try to find the right balance, because a lot of groups are becoming political forces, and they are trying to push an agenda on that they believe is their I don't like to say their truth, because I don't believe that there's multiple truth. I believe that there's just one truth, and some people take opinions as and they want to make it just the truth. But I believe that we arrived because I think the Amber Heard case, I think everything is connected. The Amber Heard case
Okay.
is shows a little bit what happens when you just believe anybody that
Yeah.
comes as a victim without even checking, and you destroy the life of somebody else without asking yourself just the question, are we sure? And I believe that where we went too far, as and it depends what society, because America is way further than the rest of the world, but usually people follow them. I mean, sometimes. I believe that maybe we should make sure is just that part that people removed from the conversation. And now if somebody just tells you, hey, I want to swim with the ladies, I'm a man, but I want to swim with the ladies
Yeah.
because I'm a woman and I'm going to win, etc., etc. Nobody wants to ask, well, let's have a conversation about this, because some women might feel that it's unfair. But because of where we are right now, when a woman comes and said, yo, listen, I've worked my whole life to be the number one in swimming and
Here.
whatever, and I understand and I respect what this person is going through, but I feel that isn't fair. Not me. I'm not Kaysha. That woman. If that woman says, I feel that it's unfair, she has to say it, mask her voice, be in the shadows, because she's gonna get canceled, or they're gonna send her to anti-homophobia, transphobia, to see, they're gonna take her, like, because the idea to just question is now seen as phobia. Well, if you question anything, you question anything about black people, you are a racist. You question anything about LGBT, you are something phobic. Like, and it's not possible to have a conversation this way. Because if we all live in the same society, unless you all want to go build your country, like, if you want to live together with everybody, you're going to have to understand that some things people will accept, and some things people might have a pushback, or some things people will accept in the long run, or whatever. But you cannot just reply to everything as, you are racist, you are transphobic, you are against us. Like, if you're not an ally, it's over. And now we have some places in governments where they are now saying to people, if you don't have your pronoun, it means you're not an ally. If you don't, like, put it in your Twitter handle, or, like, this is where some people want to push it. And some people are saying, wait a minute. It's like, it's not that I disagree with you. It's just like, do I have to talk the way you want me to talk, or to start having pronouns if I don't care? Because some people don't care. Some people have other things to do. Some people are trying to eat, whatever, like, and that's where it becomes.
And some people, and sorry to cut you off, and some people are still trying to understand.
Yeah. So
the whole concept. So
exactly.
it's like,
and And some people are just saying like, you guys are wanting to change the whole world to your liking, and you are now starting to want to touch on some things that some people believe are facts, and you want to change those facts because there's a decision that for these groups, how I feel is what I am. Where some other people say, no, how you feel is how you feel. Is a feeling, is an opinion, is a euphoria. Whereas what you are is a fact. And for some people, being born a male or a female is a construct of society. The gender is something that is assigned to you as birth because you are born with a penis or a vagina. But they say that they want to put this on one side, and on the other side say, okay, but how I feel is this. And on the other side, some people are saying, no, listen, chromosomes, these, that, if you're born with this genitalia, you are a male. If you're born with this one, you are a female. Then after that, we can talk about how you feel inside, etc., on a case by case. If you really feel that you like, man, except this is not something I'm not in your body to decide for you. If this is how you feel, fine. Then to simplify, back then you would have like the male, female, heterosexuals. Then you would be gay if you were interested, if you attracted by same sex. And at that point it was like 4 groups, and that was it. But now they want to do a division between how you feel you are is what you really are. So if you are born with a male body, but you feel that you're a woman, this is what you are, no question. But this opens the can of worms of a lot of other questions, because now if you say that you're a woman, then you can go in the women's bathroom because you don't feel safe in the men's bathroom, especially if you want to dress as how you feel you are. But if a woman says, well, I don't feel safe of knowing that I'm in the bathroom and somebody has a dick. And to this, they reply, you're transphobic. And I mean, I'm not here to tell people how to act, but if you don't want to have conversation and all you want is to push your truth to the throat of people, I don't think it's gonna work. Personally, I don't think this is how you change society. I think it depends. Some people are revolutionaries. They believe in the revolution. Some people believe in the conversation. Some people believe in teaching other people. I believe that maybe in the metaverse, you can be who you want. Or maybe when we arrive in the point where we can actually transfer our consciousness in another body, in a sleeve, like in that series called Altered Carbon, then you can just go to how you feel and you can choose your own body. If you feel like that you're a black person, then you can go be in a black person's body, or maybe but why not? Because that's the thing.
No, because it's happened before. That's like
I know, Rachel. I know. But the thing is this, like I said in another episode, why did we ostracize Rachel Dolezal, who was the blackest of the white people we know? If that's how she felt, nobody should have ridiculized her.
And wasn't she like teaching African American studies?
She went on the top of the NAACP. NAACP. Yeah, she went on the top of that. And until people realized that, oh no, she's not light skinned.
Like, wait a minute.
So, but actually, she was an ally, one of us. But then the black people say, oh no, you can only be a black man if if you felt what it feels, if you've been through, if you've been the cops, etc. Because American black people have their own reality of what it is to be a black man. That somebody who was born in Africa might have another reality depending of if they're born on the poor side or on my side. Like, or if you were born a black person in Belgium, you don't have the same reality as the ones in the US. So you cannot speak for everybody. And so are we in a world where we are 8 billion people with 8 billion opinions, or are we in a world where one group decides how we have to see them and that's it? And that's how we arrive to the question that, or the conversation that Piers Morgan was having with Macy Gray, and he asked her, I don't know what he asked her, but in the snippet, she says, "Yo, you can be pissed at me, but to me, you can cut." You can have an operation and have your things removed, but to me, you're still a man. That's what she said. And Pierce asked her, "Is this how you feel?" And she replied, "No, that is a fact." That's what she replied. She said,
she took it there.
And she said, it's a fact because I'm a woman and I know how it feels to be a woman. And no man can that remove her things can be what I am because they're not. And then all hell broke loose. Everybody went crazy. Articles, all the left media, the liberals start like.
But what are they mad about? Are they mad at the fact that she said it's a fact, that whatever it is that she stated, everything, or her opinion was a fact, or her opinion? What are they?
They're mad about her opinion, and they're mad about the fact that she said that being a woman is a fact. Like it's not a feeling.
So can we rely on the definition of what a woman is?
Now you want problems.
In the dictionary.
No, that's.
I don't know, Kaysha. Remember growing up?
Leave me alone. I'm not part of the conversation. I'm just commenting. That's what I brought you here, to have problems. The thing is this. The thing is this.
No, but
the question.
Hold on.
Listen. The question have been. The question have been asked to a bunch of people, and interestingly, nobody wants to answer what it is because everybody's scared to piss somebody nowadays. So.
And I understand that, but hear me out. Hear me out for a second. Remember when we were growing up? Let's take it back, okay? Remember when we were growing up? Mm-hmm. Back in school, in primary school, when we didn't know something, when we didn't know the definition of something, we would look, in the dictionary. Mm-hmm. So now in 2022, mm-hmm. right, if you ask me what a woman is, my first, and this is just me, I'm not even, talking about most of us who were born, in 19 whatever. Yeah. But, this is just me because this is how I was brought up.
Okay.
Right? My education, how I was brought up by, the people who raised me. Mm-hmm. If I don't know something, I'm going to look it up. If I'm not sure, I will rely on what I see in the dictionary.
Yeah.
So,
but
is that wrong?
What if the people who you are talking to are saying that what's in the dictionary is wrong because it's a social construct, and they also want to change the definitions in the dictionary, and they want to change the way we talk, etc., etc. This is their Their fight and their reason is we want to exist. We want to be seen. We don't want to be like in the shadows, being scared to exist. And our fight, it could be ideologic, whatever, but the only way for us to be accepted, they believe. I mean, I'm not gonna talk for them, but what I'm seeing right now is that there's this movement in America that is a movement where the genders are now separated from the biology. So biologically, your body can be male or female, but what you feel is more important than the biology. This is from what I understood from trying to watch videos from one side and also watch videos from the other side.
The other side.
Forget about God and all whatever. Like, it's, listen, how I feel is more like important because this is my truth. That's the. So if today you tell me I'm a Chinese woman, I have to believe you. If we go to that way of thinking of the world, of thinking the world, which is how I feel. So people say I'm a fox. People say there's groups that are saying I'm 5 years old. I'm 35. I'm 40, but I'm a 5-year-old. So I want to dress. I want to get milk in the breast, etc., etc. And whenever somebody says, but yo, listen, I mean, R. Kelly, like, people are like, you are whatever, my group phobic, because people don't want to have conversations. They just want to be accepted in however they feel. And this is the opinion of Julie is, wait, let me find it. For me, that's transphobic. And she what she said is very ignorant. That's Julio's opinion. Like, and some people are believe that, yo, whatever I feel is what is the truth. So the question here is the question, but my question personally is, in 2022, do we have the right to disagree? This is my question. Because it feels like if you just say, well, I was raised differently, or I believe in God, whatever is your reason, me personally, like, I'm not talking to me, I'm not going to give my opinion, because I just want to talk about what other people are saying. So because nobody's going to cancel me for opinions. But if somebody says, well, listen to me, if you are if your body is a male body, you a man, you a male. And if your body is a female body, you a woman. Now, if you feel trapped in a woman's body, there's been enough study about this that it's possible that this is really how you feel. Some, depending on your belief, some people scientifically, it says that it's a gender dysmorphia. But there's a term for it. Sorry, I'm not finding it right now. But they have a term for it. If you believe, like me, I'm a Buddhist. I believe in reincarnation. So if you came from another life where you were a woman and you are now in a male's body, for my belief of being able to come from one life to the next life, you might still feel how you were in your last body. So I can believe it, I can accept it. But then telling me, yo, because this is how I feel, this is what I am, and that's it, and no more conversation, and let me go swim with this, let me do that, I might be like, Can we talk about it? Because it's
Yeah.
complicated. Like, we cannot just simplify something that is so complicated. That's my opinion. And but people don't want to have. People don't even want to hear this. If I just say this, boom, let's go, transphobic. And
Yeah,
I think
automatically, yeah.
And I believe it's complicated because it might be counterproductive. What Julie is saying, for example, that what she said is transphobic. I don't see what is transphobic in saying what is your opinion. But when people become so sensitive that your opinion becomes an attack, when it's just an opinion, she didn't say these people should not exist, because what she added was, if you want me to call you her, I will happily, because this is how you feel and I accept how you feel. But in terms of biology, if you were born with a pussy, you're a woman. That's it. This is my definition. That's what she said. That's not me. Hey,
Okay,
that's
those
what she
are her
said.
words.
That's her words. That's what she said. So, but the problem here is that if somebody gives that opinion, and I believe this is the opinion of millions of people in the world, but those people are scared because people will say, "Oh, this is transphobic. This is very ignorant." But see, I mean, how you can say that something is ignorant if it's how somebody was raised for the last 40 years, and now you arrive and it's no, that's not the rules anymore. What you mean? Why? What happened? No. That person is not a boy. What you mean it's not a boy? So you have some doctors that are saying also that starting at 0 years old, at 4 months, babies know what is their gender. They're thinking about it. They already know that they want to change. So we're ready to show them the right way. That's how these doctors with blue hair are talking. I'm not trying to be condescending. I'm just like, but
Not the blue hair. What do you have against people with blue hair? See?
nothing. I'm gonna tint
No,
my
but do you
pubic
see
hair
how
blue.
people-
Don't worry.
Do you see how people can just attack you
Yeah.
just off of one comment? You know what
Exactly.
I mean? It's-
But personally, to me, that's the problem. The problem is not the opinion. I don't. I mean, listen. Listen. Okay, let me give you my opinion. However you want to feel inside of your body, I don't care. If you white like a redhead with translucent skin, but you believe that you're a black woman, and that's really how like you feel you are, and you feel that your ancestors put you in this body for whatever whatever journey, but in the next life you will be back to being a black person, and you really feel it inside of your bones, etc., etc. I don't give a fuck. You can be who you want to be. But it is still, because if I'm not inside of your body, I cannot feel for you. But because you're not inside of mine, you cannot also instill this feeling for me. I'm still gonna see you how I see you in my eyes, but I might accept what you believe, or I might say she's nuts. But this is this belongs to me. And what I find offensive personally is the fact that people want to decide for you how you're supposed to feel, and decide that if you don't accept what they feel, it's the end of the world. You are ex-phobic, you ignorant, etc. And so, but if right now I say, guys, I'm a cat, the same people will say, yeah, you're nuts. And they don't even accept the possibility that some people might see them are like, yo, like, you cannot just come and say I'm this. And at the same time, I grew up with enough people that like, I grew up with gay and trans people from my family in Africa and in Europe.
Oh wow!
So
really?
Yeah, and those people personally at that time, we didn't even have those conversations. So those people are normal to me. I never saw them as strange. I never listen. We were too young to even think about it. So when you once you grown up, once you're 20 years old, these people have been in your life your whole life, and you love them. So you
Yeah.
don't see them as strange people. You just they're always there.
See them
So
as
if
people, yeah.
if you grew up with them, for you, I mean, personally, for me, this, I mean, I don't even. The conversation is not like a do I agree? I don't agree. My only problem is the aggressivity of the victimhood, and there are some real victims, but we cannot forget that this how we arrived to Jussie Smollett, Amber Heard, and all these people.
Oh my God.
That's how we arrive to these people when there's no checks and balance. So if as an artist you don't have the right anymore to say your opinion about something, you agree, you don't agree, you like it, you don't like it,
And
then
she was, I'm sure, I mean, I didn't see the clip, but I'm sure she was asked a very specific question.
Yeah.
Because no one, I mean, I don't think she woke up that morning, and she was like, oh, you know what, today, this is what I'm going to talk about. You know what I mean?
Joel is asking if you are telling them to change the dictionary.
No, what I was saying was back in the day when we were growing up, when we were still, in those formative years, right? We're learning stuff in school.
Yeah.
We would refer ourselves to the dictionary.
Ellis
So
Boys is saying apparently the definition of a woman has been amended in the Oxford Dictionary. Let me turn on
Okay.
Let me.
All right, so things are changing.
Yeah, things are
Right,
evolving.
and I think the flip side to this is, for those of us, and I'm gonna put myself in that category, for those of us who may be ignorant, and when I say ignorant, not meaning that we don't want to learn, it's just that we don't know, right?
Yeah.
Being ignorant means that we don't know,
Okay.
right? Or we don't have enough clarification on something.
Yeah.
Right? So for those of us who are ignorant when it comes to this brand new wave, this, just like you were saying, how, some people, they were born as a man, but, they in their mind, in their body, they feel like, no, I'm actually a woman.
Yeah.
Like, that's fairly new. To someone like me, that's a new concept.
Not to me.
Right? So, right. But that's because you had a different type of experience, just like you explained earlier.
I've been
right?
clubbing
But-
for a long time.
Okay, there you go. So, but to me, this is brand new. So even the whole trans thing, like, to be trans, do you have to go through the surgery in order for you to be part of that community or not? Like, I personally have so many questions because it's not something that I'm familiar with.
I think it's a very
Right.
interesting conversation, and I think they are very interesting question because, and I believe that if people were less sensitive, just a bit less, and I understand. I mean, I'm not in the listen. I understand that some people become radical because of whatever they've been through, and I cannot put myself in their shoes.
Issues, yeah.
And it's the same thing when we talk about politics. It's the same thing when we talk about Africa. Some people have been hungry for so long that they don't care about all your conversation. They just want a gun and shoot people. This is, yeah. So, but I believe that if people were able to listen to the other side and not straight away say, oh, I feel violated by your words, people would be able to say, yo, listen, I don't understand the concept, because to me this and this, and when they say this, you just calm down. You don't need to be like, oh, you can just be like, oh yeah, listen, I can understand, I can explain to you. Because personally, there's a lot of things that sometimes I have friends that are not African or not black or not musicians or whatever we're talking about, or not DJs, and we're gonna have a conversation, and they're gonna tell me something that, yeah, but I don't understand why you guys are not doing this and this. For example, like we speak about Congo, for example. Yeah, but I don't understand. Like some French friends would tell me, yo, but I don't understand why you guys don't do this and this and this, and why you all don't go back there and do this and change this and that. And instead of just saying, oh, I'm violated by your words, and conversation over, let me go tweet and try to have as many people as possible go and harass that person, which is actually what you are complaining, that you've been harassed, you've been purchased, you've been like, but you do it to other people. So personally, when somebody tells me something and I need them to understand something, what I say is, okay, you have some time, let me explain to you why we don't do this and why we don't do that, or why we can't do this, or why politically this and that and that. Let me explain to you about what happened in the 60s. Let me tell you about CIA. Let me tell you Lumumba. Let me tell you about the coltan. Let me tell you about the lakes. Let me tell you about the Mineral Act. Let me tell you why these zones is, like, let me tell you about genocide. Let me tell you about all this. And maybe in 4 hours you will understand why things are not changing, and why it's more complicated than you think, because everybody who tried to change it had a bullet in their head. So
yes,
but if you cannot take it on yourself to be able to explain to people, even if you have to explain 1,000 times, so that people can explain and people can be like, listen, it continues to be strange to me, but at least I see that you are genuine about this, and I believe that this is how you feel. And yo, listen, that this must be crazy. This must be, my God, like, but how do you do, and how do you, like, do you feel pain? Do you feel like do you feel horrible in this body? Like, how do you feel? Like, and people might be really interested because you are welcoming. Instead of, whenever somebody says something and it's a celebrity or whatever, your only reaction is, oh, let's cancel that person. Let's go. Let's make it the news. Let's have 1 million tweets. Let's do death threats. Let's, like, personally, I believe that people are, whatever is your, I mean, listen, in the black movement, it was the same thing. Some people believe in Martin Luther King. Some people believe in Malcolm X. And some people believe that it had to be the violence. That was the only way. Some others said, no, the acceptation was the way. And maybe it's in the middle, the solution. Maybe one needed the other one to be able to sometimes, tell the people, hey, if we cannot negotiate, we can still do this, because that's the art of war. And this is what sorry, my mom sent me a text. This is,
oh, hey mom.
Hey. So yeah, in my opinion, let me write it to her. Yeah. So yeah, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, we are in this situation. Personally, from me looking outside, like, I don't feel threatened. I don't feel. Listen, today, I believe that we don't even know if we are allies or not, because now to be an ally, you have to do so many things, and people are, like, it becomes this thing where no, it's just like BLM. A lot of people were like, listen, your BLM thing is becoming, you need people, like, being an ally now means to be active and to do this. Like, you cannot just say, hey, guys, listen, good luck. Being an ally means I'm not getting in your way. I'm like, listen, now you have to either be doing this and doing that. If not, you are
anti.
You see what I mean? You are anti. I disagree with you, Julie. She said that's not an opinion,
Uh-uh.
that's transphobic. I disagree completely. Personally, I think she was just saying her opinion. And the problem is this: if people cannot say their opinion, because it's the same thing as in France, if you say anything about Israel and about their politics, boom, anti-Semitic, and then the conversation cannot happen anymore. When you want, if you just want to have a political conversation about the things you disagree with what the state is doing with in regards to Palestine, etc., people, when they don't want to have the conversation, they will just throw the words at you: anti-Semitic, racist, this, that, and then you cannot have conversations anymore. And I personally, I don't believe in that. I don't believe that conversations are possible if people are not able to hear what another person feels. Because if you want the world to be based on how you feel, you also have to accept how other people feel, and they might not feel the same way as you. This is what we call equality. Equality is not, the way I feel is important, and if anybody doesn't agree with how I feel, you are transphobic. Then listen, you have like 80% of the world it is because some people, they're far away from this. They're not in America, they are out there in different countries, and they don't even understand what you're saying because it goes against whatever, maybe they believe, the religious belief, etc. So you cannot just come and say, oh, that's transphobic, that's it. No, you have to be able to have the conversation. If not, it means that you are just an emotional person who just react emotionally to the people disagreeing with you. And when what I see from I see from outside looking in, because listen, I'm not personally, I mean, I have family members, but as personally, I'm not concerned. I don't have I cannot feel how people feel in one way, and at the same time, I'm able to understand what somebody else feels. Some people say, listen, to me, whatever you feel inside is whatever you feel inside, but a man is this, a woman is this, that's it. Some people, that's how they feel because of the Bible, whatever is the reason. But you have to also accept it. It doesn't mean that you cannot exist, but the reaction of most of the time when people say this is, oh my God, I mean, they go to Twitter and they go find people because they cannot have the conversation by themselves. They need the hordes to come and back up. And personally, listen, I'm a person, every time I had to fight about something, every time I had even 10 people against me, I was alone and I didn't need to call people. I was like, okay, let's go. Saber, let me cut all of you because I come with the truth. And I know why I'm right, and I know why I'm honest, and I come with the honesty. And I think it is a little short-sighted to be only able to have conversation using the phobic and isms. I personally, I would have a conversation with whoever is in the far right. I would have a conversation and I would not hate them for whatever they believe in. And I hope that they wouldn't hate me for who I am. If they hate me before we even talk, that's different. I would think that they are as stupid as the people that are doing this on the other side. But I can listen. If I find myself in the plane near Marine Le Pen, we can have a conversation. She had a black boyfriend back in the days. We can have a conversation. She does Zook, like, you see what I mean? We can have a conversation. Yo, so what do you think about that? And like, I'm so into some things. If she tells me, I always love to say this because it's a stupid example, but if she tells me, hey, sometime the sky is blue, I would be like, I do agree. Like, see what I mean? Like, yeah, it is. And some people, they just don't want that. No, you're racist. We cannot talk. We have to cancel you. You cannot talk because if you talk, you are like, it feels like letting other people talk and letting people also give their opinion is like it threatens your existence. It doesn't. I mean,
Okay, I have a question for you, and you've probably mentioned
Eh,
this in previous episodes before, but
mm.
when did the cancel culture start? Like, when did it begin? Because I remember growing up, we didn't
What
have.
are bon shows? With the internet,
We,
I guess.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
when Twitter became, I think
probably.
when Twitter. Okay, I would give you a specific. I don't have the date, but I believe that when Twitter became, when somebody lost their job because of hordes of people on Twitter, that's when it began. When people
Wow.
start losing their jobs or getting their YouTube channel canceled, deleted, where you got dropped of a TV show or something because of an opinion that was not, because back in the days I would say that you had a threshold of what was not acceptable. You would say you would say something blatantly racist and it was over. You would and I mean, because there were some jokes like back in the days that today when I'm like, yo, but
Let me, you know what? It's so true. I was watching like some time ago, I was listening to, I don't know if you remember. So Jamie Foxx used to have a radio show back in the
I don't know.
day. It
Yeah.
was funny, but like because I was listening to it like a few days ago, and I was like, they really like, they would go there. Do you know what I mean? They, like, no boundaries, no filters,
Yeah.
and you know how it is with radio.
Mm-hmm.
People, it's
Howard
freedom
Stern
of
and
speech.
etc.
Yeah, like they would go there. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was like, to me, it was funny. But I was like, in
Listen,
2022, that type of radio show,
Eddie
I don't
Murphy
know.
Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, and I believe
Yeah.
that. So, I mean, personally, when I start becoming like you guys are, is when they went back in the tweets of 10 years ago from Kevin Hart and
Yeah.
to prevent him from having something, and then the society, the company, because the companies stopped having balls for a point. So they were like, can you say you're sorry? And he said, bro, this is from 10 years ago. And I said sorry 10 years ago. And that was a joke. And I said, okay, sorry if you don't like the joke. No, can you say sorry again? And he said, you know what? I'm not going to present the Oscars then. Or the Grammys. I don't remember what it was. But
I think it was the Oscars.
yeah, he said, you know what? That was my dream and I won't do it because you guys want people to learn, but every time people say, yeah, I learned, 10 years after, you go back to find their old tweets and go back to their old selves, and then you just take it, and then you have mountains of tweets, people arriving from everywhere saying, he's a this, he's a that, and then and then you threaten the companies, I'm gonna unsubscribe from this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And then people are like, yo, please, you have to go do an apology. And people are like, yo, I'm tired of apologizing for, it was a joke. Like, listen to the joke again. It's not even offensive. It's fun. I mean, for some people it's funny, for some people not. And listen, I'm a comedian, damn it. And he said, you know what? I'm done. Fuck it. And that's where I was like, something is starting to happen. And then you had the Dave Chappelle thing. And with Dave Chappelle, Netflix said, well, guys, we just tired. First of all, they fired half of the people who were complaining. And then they told everybody else, listen, if you cannot accept the opinion of other people, in maybe you cannot work here. Maybe this is not the right place for you, because we are trying to be inclusive to everybody. Being inclusive doesn't mean being inclusive and accepting of everything you want. Everybody is not just you, it's everybody else too, including the people who don't think like you. And a lot of people, listen, let me, personally, it's me. Now I'm giving my opinion. When people say you have a white privilege in the US, I understand the concept. I understand all of it. I understand that, yeah, some depending of who you are, how much money you have, this is that, you're gonna have different perks as of somebody who doesn't have what you have. Can be your skin, can be your this, can be your that. I understand that. But the idea that every white person must say sorry to every black person and every white person is guilty of something because of maybe their whole family line have nothing to do with slavery. Maybe back then they were in Iceland or wherever, and maybe they had nothing to do with it. But some people will come and say, no, you have to be sorry. And because you have to be sorry, you have to be an ally. Because you want to be an ally, you have to do this. And when we are there and we are marching, you have to march. If you just see you on Starbucks drinking your coffee, then you're going to have 10 people around you being like, huh? You're not an ally. You're not an ally. You're not an ally. Stand up. Don't stay here. If you don't do nothing, it means you're not fighting. And people will be like, yo. That's when I was like, these people are becoming hysterical.
Yeah.
And history shows that hysterical people don't win. And the problem is you cannot even say you're an ally, because after everything I said, I didn't say my opinion, but after everything I said, I'm trying to put sense in the conversation and just put the possibility of people have to have conversation. But every time I watch a debate, I see people who are talking in points, like if they were, like when you see an interview of somebody who's doing like 10 different interviews and he learned all the points, and you feel like all the questions have been already rehearsed. And every time like when Amber Heard and her lawyer, when they lost, they were saying the same thing in every interview. Oh, this is like it feels like you just here to come and say all your slogans. This is not a conversation, and no conversation is people saying slogans, and no conversation is people when they hear something they don't want, either they quit the conversation or they start yelling or they call you something phobic. You are whatever phobic. It's not a conversation. This is just people who are just doing the show. And this is now what I'm starting to see. I believe that more and more people are coming and not scared to say how they feel and not scared to be canceled. I believe because they see that there's enough people who are maybe tired of being taken hostage by these conversations. Some people want to have the right to not give a fuck. I think my mom is watching. Yeah, but like some people just want to have the right to not care, because the world is, to me, very funny. We got 10 million people who died from a genocide in Congo. Nobody ever called it a genocide. Nobody gives a damn about all the women that have been raped, etc., etc.
Talk about it.
But we have to care about Ukraine. We have to care about the trans. We have to care about this and that, things that happen in the US. This is like all people want to talk about, pronouns, etc. And we might say, listen, since we don't care, you don't care about my stuff here, leave me alone with your stuff. Yeah. But even this channel can just disappear just because I said that. And this is a problem, because if you tell me, hey, we're doing Twitter so everybody can have a voice. Hey, we're doing Twitter because we're doing YouTube so everybody can, hey, instead of having a website, have a YouTube channel. Hey, come on Instagram. But then when I say something, you have people who say, oh no, listen, freedom of speech stop when I disagree with you. This is called fascism.
Yeah.
And that's where, so I mean, I just saw the whole thing, and listen, my mom is here, my sister is here, my brother is here. I'm too busy getting fat and eating every day to really understand the whole thing that is going on about Macy Gray. But I believe that.
So is she really getting canceled?
I don't
or
believe
are
so.
people just attacking her? Like, is she losing money? Because to me, being canceled, because people can talk all day long, on the internet, right?
Yeah.
And they have the right to do so. But to me, a real cancellation is when you're actually losing money. You're losing deals over here.
Yeah.
You're losing that over here.
Listen, I believe that cancellation don't really exist. I believe that people believe that they cancel you, but I don't believe that it exists because, I mean, it is all a construction of the internet. Like Dave Chappelle says, this is not the real life.
Didn't what was his name? The rapper, the baby. He said. The rapper.
He had to say sorry. He had to say, "Oh, I learned." It was a publicist had to say something, but he's back touring now.
Okay,
because
so he's but
money,
at some point,
money talks.
Didn't he lose?
He lose money. Yeah, he lost money. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
But listen, what's his name? Johnny Depp got canceled for 6 years. He lost a lot of money. He lost. He has been dropped from 2 big franchises.
Insane.
Because of a lie.
Insane.
So this is where I'm saying I believe that what is going on right now, and people are not like me. People don't see the big picture. I see the big picture. I believe that people are so busy in their little bubbles, just being angry for one thing or just being in reaction, that they don't see the way I see it. Me, I don't react to things. I just look at things and I'm like, very interesting. More and more people are speaking up about society, because it's not a society when one group can just lead everybody else. One group can lead everybody else because of how they feel, and with guilt trips, people are making you feel guilty about not accepting them, when sometimes it's not that you don't accept. You might just not understand. You might just need some time. You might just not care. You might have 1 million. You might be too busy trying to survive. And then you have people, they're like, nah, me, and I want to be in every movie. I want to exist and then you have now you have people who are wanting to use entertainment, movies, etc. to show people. And I believe everybody has the right to be there. We complain enough living in Belgium, living in France, that we were not seeing ourselves in television. So I agree that people must be there, but when you start putting people, even if it has nothing to do with the story, you just want to put them just because you have it's starting to be like, oh, we need to be with some black people, we need some trans, we need some 2 girls kissing, we need hey, let's also put this, put some midgets too, put small people, put this, put that.
Yes, I was about to correct you.
Sorry. And that's when it becomes problematic, because you write the story around the agenda, when actually you have to learn to be subtle. If you are subtle enough, people don't realize, and then it becomes something that is normal for people. And I think it's something that you have to act with subtlety. But we are in a world where people will tweet, and people will just take People will come, take this conversation, find 5 seconds of the last hour, put them together, and then be like, look at this guy, his name is this, and then they will arrive out of everywhere and come and try to destroy your life and destroy your livelihood and etc., because they believe that they want to silence anybody who disagree. And that's personally, that's a problem to me. Now, one day I will make sure that I find a friend of mine or maybe somebody I don't know that is willing to have the conversation, because I don't believe that everybody is the same way. Like I'll send you the link. I think it was a conversation between Andrew Schultz and a trans woman that has she's a porn actress as well, and they were having conversation and they were asking them questions. They were asking her questions, and actually she was really like answering a lot of questions with so much honesty and désinvolture that actually I watched the whole thing and I was like, wow, she's amazing. Like, and I didn't know her, never heard about her before, but after watching the whole 2 hours and a half, I was, wow, she's amazing. If they could all send people like that in TV instead of the people who come ready to be a victim, ready to be like, if they could send people this way, listen, I believe that this would change it for a lot of people. Not everybody. Some people for all type of reason, and a lot of them also because they are idiots will never want to agree. But I know that after that I was like, wow, like, yeah, listen, whenever somebody is, I believe that when people are good in their skin and they feel well in their skin, they actually don't have any problem answering questions, having conversations, and not feeling like everybody's trying to trap them in something. And listen, like, yeah, I mean, I don't remember the whole conversation, but I remember, like, I even commented on the video. I was like, yo, listen, that was amazing. That person, I never heard about her because I'm not into trans porn, but
you sure?
She's amazing. Like, I'm not gonna go watch movies, but I was like, yo, she's amazing. Like, I would sit down with that person and have long conversations because she was so cool. See what I mean? And listen, I don't have a problem saying she, etc. Like, I don't. She was great. The conversation was so cool, was funny. Something she was like, yeah, in Here We Go Too Far. They asked her about Dave Chappelle. She was like, some stuff was funny. But I don't see where the fuss. Like, you know, like, and I was like, yo, look, somebody.
And she was stating her opinion.
Exactly, and she was not scared to say her opinion. And I believe that we are now in a world right now where there's like two opinions and you have to choose between those two, and individuality. So let's see what people are saying. I'm not against gay folks. Personally, I met a gay person first time in my life in 2003 in Switzerland, just out of Africa, and someone had to explain to me what it meant to be gay, and I still did not grasp what he meant. But things have changed a lot ever since. Okay. Master Electronic says the problem with.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Before you move on to the next question or comment. As a heterosexual woman,
yes,
I don't walk around thinking, oh, what does it mean to be, attracted to the opposite sex? And so it's like, do we as heterosexual, do we need to know what it feels like be gay or to like is I don't know if you see what I'm trying
It depends of
to
your
get at here.
I
It's like
guess it depends your curiosity. I mean, personally,
because
I don't need to, I mean, I know what it means.
yeah.
I mean, it's
Because to me,
just
it's
that
like,
you see another
look, I
you
don't
see
have,
another guy, you're like, you see another girl, you're like, nothing. I mean, I guess this is super simplified, but that's
yeah.
that's enough. I mean, you know.
Because to me, it's like if you're gay, you're like, first of all, I don't care what you do behind closed doors. Let's start right there.
Me
That's
neither.
me, right?
Yeah, me neither. I mean, you do what you do. You do you.
You do you
Yeah.
to the fullest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As long as it's consensual, and we'll
Exactly.
talk about that later on.
Oh my God. I believe I can fly.
As long as it's consensual,
Yeah.
and both parties are of age, do your thing. That's where I'm at with it. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Me
So
too.
to me, I'm like, if you're gay, you're gay. If you're whatever, you're whatever. Some people do this, some people do that.
So if
Do
somebody
what you
says
do.
I'm a tree, you don't
Then
care.
you're a tree,
All right.
right? And but here's the thing: if I don't understand the concept, because it's something that is foreign to me,
Yeah.
if I ask you politely, can you please explain what that means to you? Then please don't attack me, right? Because to me, I think it's all in the approach.
I don't
You know?
believe that if you ask politely, people will attack you. I believe that some people just think it's fantasies. And those people, I guess, they feel attacked because they talk, they arrive like, you like a tree, you're a tree, really? Like, and I have to
Yeah,
change
yeah,
your pronouns to tree. Like, some people don't even want to. Like some people, okay. I heard somebody
we
said.
still have to be respectful, though. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I heard somebody said. I don't remember who it was. Somebody said, "Don't force me to act as if I'm part of your fantasy by also having to call you with your pronoun." Some people don't want to. Some people are like, listen, I have my grammar set for the last 50 years or 40 years or whatever age. I learned my grammar at school, etc. You're not gonna come and add like 150 different pronouns to the thing because you have to be called sore or I'm making them up, but and have a whole like, nah, I'm they. What you mean you they? Oh no, because sometimes because some people say that they wake up men and sometimes they go to sleep women. They fluid. They change their gender.
It changes, yeah.
Sometimes I feel like a man. Sometimes I feel like a woman.
Yeah.
So some people say, some psychologists say, this is a condition. This is a mental condition because it's all mental. It's not physical. It's in the mind. And some others say no. That's the soul is fluid, and both conversation are existing at the same time. But some people might look at this like this is a fantasy. It's like,
Yeah. Personally speaking,
I don't
think
have opinions. But go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. Personally thinking, I think that we should be respectful of how the other person feels, right? So let's say if you and I, Kaysha, we have a conversation, then I come to you, then I say, you know what? I think I might have a thing for, and it doesn't even have to be another person. You know what I mean? It could be, I have a thing for paper planes. Like whenever I see a paper fly in the air, oh my God, I get excited. of course, I'm giving you like an extreme example, but I'm just saying,
I'm
right?
looking for paper around me.
Right. So I come to you one day and I'm like, you know what? I've been looking at these paper planes, man. Yo, every time I see them, wow, I feel something inside of me. I'm not quite sure what it is. I feel something inside of me. As, another human being, what I would, I'm not going to say expect, but what I would like for you to do is to at least respect the fact that, I have this brand new feeling inside of me whenever I see paper planes.
I personally, I would
Right.
completely listen. I've seen so much shit in my life that I would be like, yeah, you do. I would say maybe my first thing would be like, really, and then I would be like, okay, this is your thing. Like, so how do you feel? And like, you get aroused, you get like, now listen, it's more than that. I really like, it takes me. So I was like, okay, listen, music does that to me.
Right.
Like, music can do this to me. Like,
yes.
So and some people, they completely insensitive to music. So who am I to tell somebody how to feel when I got some things that make me feel some way and other things that make me feel nothing. And I got like, to me personally, it comes down to the respect of individuality.
Yes,
I believe that the
exactly.
big problem here is that most people they don't have nothing to do, so they find a fight and they fight for it as crazy, and then they wake up after 5 years and then they pick something else, or then they be like, yeah, I had my moments, like I was emo, whatever. Those people, I look at them funny. But anybody who genuinely always had a kink for something or whatever is your thing, listen, we are all individuals. As long as it is really something that comes from you, whatever you believe, I will fight for you to be able to believe and express it. But if you start preventing other people to disagree with you, I can't. That's where you lose me, because you are now becoming what you've been fighting.
Yeah.
If you want to censor other people because you've been marginalized back in the days, or it means that you have to work on yourself, because you cannot become, because now you have the power, you cannot become the people who oppressed you. If tomorrow in the US, let's say 2050, there's only Hispanic, and the majority of Hispanic and black people in the US now, and white people become a minority. If black people treat the white people the way the white people used to treat them, I will say, you guys, you lose me at that moment, because you are just perpetuating something, and they will breed in between themselves somewhere in Utah, and then when they're strong enough, they will come back and do it to you again, and the cycle continues. At a point, you just don't be what you have been complaining about. And the problem to me with cancel culture and the people who use victimization and sometimes they also use it to just exist. Some people, they just want to exist through drama. And it doesn't mean that some people are not really marginalized. Some people are not really suffering. I see those people. I understand those people. I'm just talking about the general thing where Disney should not have to have any say in that conversation. Coca-Cola should not have to say anything about this. Twitter should not have to decide, are we removing your account, Macy Gray, because you said something that was transphobic. Because racism has a definition. The transphobia, which is fearing somebody because they are different,
But soon that will change too, because they're changing,
But that,
the definition of a woman.
But
so.
this is the problem, because if you start changing everything just to fit how you feel, what if you feel something different in 10 years? That's when we start bending the truth, in my opinion. So at a point, we have to be able to say, I disagree with what you said, and this is why. And you just state your opinion. You don't cancel people because they have an opinion. And listen, I'm not a woman, so I cannot even know how Macy Gray feels. I'm not a woman. And I'm not a trans person, so a trans woman. So I cannot feel for them how they felt about this. I just trying to look at it from a non-emotional thing and be like, okay, this is how you feel, and this is how you feel. And move on. Like, she has the right to, like some people have the right to believe that, or to want to have the conversation about trans women in athleticism. Some women are saying they build bigger than us, like because they used to be, or because they are trapped in a body that is stronger than ours. So
logically,
we feel that it's unfair. And you cannot, if a woman tells you, I feel that it's unfair, say, listen, you used to be the victims, but not anymore. So now, like, it's them. So don't be transphobic. No, I doesn't have to. It's just unfair. I worked for all these years for this, and all of a sudden they came and boom. Like, is there another solution? Or I want to go to the bathroom and feel safe, and I don't want to see dick. To me, that's it. Like if a woman says that, that's it. Because if tomorrow I want to be there and I can just go and sit there and be like, no, I'm a woman. How do people know? Yeah. People don't know. So you cannot just simplify it. It is a complicated problem. You don't fix it by just canceling people, insulting people, being aggressive, etc. Like, and you have to understand that there are issues that are created by this, because of the way society was made, and it was not made for you. I agree there, and society has to accommodate to you. That's for sure. But you're gonna have to also understand that, maybe, I don't know. Listen, I don't know. Maybe there have to be three different lavatories so that everybody has their place. Maybe this is the right solution. Like I think that's what they do in Thailand, for example. When I was in Thailand, there was 3 doors, and I was like, yo, wow, okay, look at that. To me, I was like, okay, this was so simple. 1 door for you, one door for you, 1 door for you. Now I want to go in your door because I'm you. Now go here in the middle. This is for you. Now I'm her. Like. So
can you kind of like break it down? So when you were in Thailand, you went there, and there was a door for women?
There was a door for women, there was a door for men, and there was a door for lady boys.
Okay. Is that a term that we can use? Because you have to be careful.
Listen, I don't care. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I have the right to not know. Like, I'm. Come on.
I'm sorry, and I'm not laughing. Please, I'm not laughing at the.
No, but it's like
movement.
I'm trying.
I'm
listen,
laughing at you, Kaysha. Yeah.
I think it's important to understand the gravity of the suffering of some people, but it's also important to take it down to a place where we can just have a conversation about it between ourselves, and it's okay. Because if not, listen, I'm gonna be angry every day about my dead people in my country. And then if you tell me anything, I'm gonna tell you, hey, everybody, I don't want nobody to have a phone, a computer everywhere because the cold thaw. Right. And I will go about all the time.
Talk about it.
And then you would be, oh, listen, who cares? Like, yeah, you don't care because, okay, so why should I care about you? If you want me to go to there, I can be aggressive too. Or, hey, listen, this is the world. The world isn't fair. And let's try to make it better step by step. And don't force me. I'm not gonna force you. Don't. Some things I will accept. I mean, some things people will accept. Some things people want. I believe. Like, listen, there's some people who do things that you will never make me understand or accept. Like, I told you about my ex that had a boyfriend that wanted to eat her shit.
What? No, you didn't tell me about
Ah, listen. Yeah, she was telling me this. I was like, what? Yeah, you asked me this yesterday. I was like, yo.
So
Where do you find him?
Why do you always have these crazy stories with, oh my God.
Listen, so I was like, so what did you do? And I was like, what you mean? What did I do? He was like, yeah, I just want to, can you like not flush the toilet when you're done? I just want to take it, put it in a plate and eat it like a meal. And I was
but
like,
is that even healthy? And I'm not criticizing.
No, that's dangerous. I believe that's
dangerous. Into that, right? Let's be very clear.
Oh, listen, I do.
Like, I know you don't care, okay? I know you don't care, but look, they may not see my face, but they can hear my voice, okay?
Listen.
Is that healthy? That cannot be healthy.
I don't think so, because it has been rejected by the body. There's a reason. But I know, but you see what I mean? You're not gonna make me look at these people and normal. I believe this. I mean, no, I'm not gonna say they're sick, but I find it disgusting. But listen, if this your thing, it's your thing. But if tomorrow my wife wakes me up and say, listen, I have to tell you something.
Okay.
I always dreamed of you to be like, this wedding is over. Effective now.
Okay. I actually have a serious question.
Wait. Listen, the chat is. We have to do the chat.
It's on fire.
Oh my God, this is gonna be a long life. We're not gonna be able to touch everything. Listen, we still have to talk about something else. Look, listen. Master Electronic is saying the problem with the left-wing agenda is to force everyone to live in the lies. To be loved and get famous nowadays, you must be a transgender or gay. Oh, I don't know. Let me go see. In life, you can agree to disagree and still get along. I completely agree, Elise Boys, about what she said. Elise Boys is saying, but don't ask my opinion and get upset when I'm not saying what you want to when I'm not saying what you want to hear. I do agree with that. Master Electronic is saying, if you stand with the truth, you stand alone. That is also true. Bruno is asking what happened and who got canceled. Macy Gray. You talking about the woke mob? You should check the new Sims for High School trailer. Oh, you send me the link. I'm gonna check it out. Julie is saying, dear Trisha, I disagree with you when you talk about minorities like they are taking too much.
Are you sure it's me? I didn't say much. I didn't talk about that.
Yeah, listen. Okay, I disagree with you, Kay, on this. Wait, you talk about about minorities like they are taking too much place in society. This society that marginalized them for years and years. You don't understand the point. Actually, Julie, you didn't hear what I said before. I said I understand that some people might become radical after having been marginalized all this time. That's what I said. I understand it, but I still think it's a mistake to force your way this way on some of these subjects. It's because it's societal. I as I said before, I've lived among gays and trans way before I understood the implications, and I didn't even know if they were in pain, because we were always in a happy place and they were always accepted in my family because we're talking about uncles, brothers, so I never had like this I would even say that I didn't even have to have conversation to be accepting, because when you grow up with somebody and you've never seen that person being something else, you are not really discovering. It's not like they're coming out the closet, like they've been this way forever. There was just no word. So when you start understanding what it is, you're like, oh yeah, just like, you see, just like my uncle, or just like my cousin, or just, you see what I mean? Or just like my neighbor. So I it's just that the way the culture is shifting, and the all these movements, Me Too, BLM, etc., etc. I'm not trying to put everybody in one big bag, but the way they have been, they've been very in the activism. They are creating a pushback, and I can see it. And I'm not saying that I'm happy about it. I'm just saying that I see it. And the reason why they are creating a pushback is because we went too far on one direction in accepting everything, and like I said, canceling people just from a comment. And people are asking themselves only now, you see what I mean? Like, listen, Disney, Warner still did not do any apologies, gave any apology, or ask, or I don't know how you say it, but apologize to Johnny Depp for the treatment, for caving into the mob. And to me, as a society, that's when you have to ask yourself. The guy from the woman in France who created the Me Too movement, she lost against the person because it was actually just, the guy was trying to hit on her, etc., but it was not her boss. So she didn't lose her job or whatever because of him. So the whole construction that she said, and the guy lost his job, the guy went through a divorce, his daughter didn't talk to him for 2 years until he was proven innocent. Not innocent of trying to hit on you, but innocent of what you were saying, because he was, me too, I had something in my work and my boss did this. That's what she said. And she lost this, and she had to pay, she lost actually for defamation, the same way as Amber Heard lost. And then this guy could get his life back, but he still lost 2 years of his life. This is a scar that he will bear. Like, when your daughters don't want to speak to you anymore, even if they come like, oh, dad, we up, too late. Why? Because at that point, and listen, it's good because the R. Kellys, the Harvey Weinsteins, all these people are guilty. So this is a good thing. But people just let the hordes say whatever they had to say. And the hordes on Twitter, some of them, not all of them, some of them abuse that just to have, hey, I want to exist as well. Hey, let me say something that happened to me. Let me invent something about somebody, and let me get revenge about this ex. And boom. And people cannot say that this is not possible, and that was the problem. And I believe this is the problem with all the minority groups right now, in the need to give them the space. I think we are seeing the return of checks and balance. People are saying, wait a minute. It's not that we believe you and whatever you say is, we want you to speak and we want to hear you, but we're still going to check to make sure that you're not destroying somebody else's life. And there's been too many people that have been, some people had career destroyed and they deserved it, but some people didn't deserve it because sometimes it was just an opinion. Hey, go and look at anybody 2 months ago who said, I understand Russia, Just like, not like I agree. Somebody would say it's a mistake what they're doing, but I see where they're coming from. I can understand from the story, from the NATO, from this, from that, from America, from like if we go back to the last 60 years, like some people said that. And in the whole Russia phobia that we had like 2 months ago, you could not say that. Even YouTube sent emails to everybody. Hey, if you go and say you understand, you will be demonetized and you might lose your channel. How you call this? You call this means, hey, the truth is here. And you like, can you prove it? Listen, the truth is here. And if you are not inside of the truth, you will see. So please auto-censor yourself if you disagree with us. Aha! Wait a minute. So where can I talk? Well, nowhere, because nobody cares about websites anymore. People only care about YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. This is where conversation happens. So if you want to talk in the place where the conversation happen, you have to agree with us. The problem is, some companies are not saying like, yeah, this is going too far. And this is why Netflix told people, hey, if you don't agree with us, you can leave here. This is why Spotify, when everybody wanted like, yeah, Joe Rogan, whatever, because of the vaccine, because of all, hey, you're not here to decide what the people that we signed talk about. If you disagree with it, it's okay. But you are not here to decide who, like to only have people you agree with. And I think it's a problem in the US right now that is trying to spread in the rest of the world, is only the people that agree with me have the right to talk. And I don't understand, I don't agree with this world, because this is how wars happen, this is how our empires fall, this is how, I mean, isn't that what you were criticizing our countries in Africa for? That there's only one party and there's only one thing, and anybody who disagree is thrown in prison. So if people can't see that they are starting to have this, they are moving towards this, and the only thing they can say when you tell this to them is, or you are saying that the minorities talk too much. That's not what I said. I said they have to have a voice. But people have the right to disagree, or people have the right to question some of the things until we find a common thing. It's not just, oh, this is what I want and I don't care. Because now you're gonna listen. Now you have people calling themselves wolves, trees, fluffies, these, that, and people just have to agree because this is their truth. And some people say, I don't know, I'm a minority, so I have the right to. Some people are saying you crazy. Some people, not me. Some people. Trisha, not me.
I'm innocent.
Naza innocento. Someone said, be the change you want to see in the society. Wasn't J.K. Rowling canceled for the same thing? Exactly, Bruno. J.K. Rowling was canceled. Even her own actors, the people that she made famous from her movies, are doing reunions without her because they know that I don't know if they want to talk to her or not, but they know that if they have show any sympathy to the person who changed their lives, they're gonna get canceled. That they will not be accepted nowhere. I mean, this sounds to me like dictature, but